Hey y'all. So Chelsea and I have been working quite a bit today. She's been putting these little glass ornaments filled with some of our dried flowers. And a friend of mine gifted us some of these little pottery vases that she makes. And Chelsea did these beautiful little open arrangements, and I made this little squatty short arrangement that you can't even hardly see the vase. It's under there somewhere. I told her, I said, you do the rest of the vases. I just made them really, really too tight. Look at this. They're closing up for the night. The calendula. This is still from last week when I cut these flowers. Look at the Dara. The orange are calendula. The white are stock. And they're beautiful. I need to change my water again. But we're in the process of getting ready for our last market of the year called Kringle. And we have our candles ready for these little centerpieces. And the little centerpieces will have, I'm just getting them ready to put all of our greenery on and getting the bows on them and the candles on them and all that sort of thing. But they'll have lots of greenery, and I want to show y'all something that I'm really excited about because to me it is so very cute. Noble's been staying back here. He's Chelsea's boy, and now you can see, look at this disaster. This room is just a workroom, pure and simple. That's all it's being used for right now, but it is what it is until we get this behind us. And eventually, I can't wait until this room can be turned into my studio / gallery / this room will also be used for classes. We can set tables up. But I've been making these little guys. This is one that I had bought years and years and years ago, and I've always loved it. And so I have several that are made, but I don't know if you can tell anything about them because they're still clipped. They're clipped together with clothespins, and they've got to be trimmed, and then they've got to be glued. But anyway, right now they're just drying. You can see I've got just a stack of them right here. And we have just tons of dried flowers just piled all over the place. But in our box of ribbon that I had stashed away from a few years back. So I'm in the process of making ribbons, making a little bit of everything. But we're going to take what we had been taking to the latter part of our market. And some of these are obviously fallish, and we can't use those. But some of them, just little tree ornaments. They're, oops, I'm in the light. They're just sweet little wreaths. Oops. I can't hold on to anything, guys. Just sweet little wreaths with the dried flowers. And Chelsea put some peacock feathers. She thought that was very artistic, and it's cute. But so a lot of these, we've got to go through these and pull out what can be, tree ornaments. Some of this that has corn on the cob, and sunflowers obviously need to be revamped as a fall type wreath, like this one. It's a good size for a wreath to hang on a door somewhere maybe, but needs to have greenery and ribbon put on it. And these little guys that she's been working on, they're just little dried flower. If you can imagine, we've got to put our little ribbon on it, and then it will have a Velcro ribbon that goes around it that can attach it to the top. I just broke that. Well, no, maybe I didn't. It will attach to the top of a tree branch. So, you know, everything hangs from underneath of a tree branch, but my mother-in-law used to have things like that she would pick up on the farm. Even little things like hummingbird nests, pieces of lichen, just pretty little natural elements, and she would lay and attach them on the top of the branches, and it was very pretty. So Chelsea and I decided that we would make some of those and make them with this product that's just basically green Velcro. It'll go around so that once they lay, it's hard to do. I should have brought my stand in here. But they'll be hidden, you know, this will be kind of hidden on the top with a ribbon, but then it will go around and down below and attach to the tree branch. So it will just lay on top like that, just little bunches of dried flowers. And we've also been putting little holes and making little shell ornaments. And the reason for that, it's got to have the regular string put in it. I just hung that with, Chelsea hung one with wire, and I hung that with thread, just to see how they hung. But we're just putting that little grass kind of ribbon or string through them. Hi. I just realized I was on candid camera. But let me show you my brainchild that I am having so much fun with. So much fun. All right, I had told Chelsea and Hugh, and yes, that room is full of even piles of dried flowers in the floor. It's still the dried flower room. We've used a lot from out of here. There's still a lot in there. We're talking about maybe later making some candles. Remember the candles from back from the 70s that had flowers in them around the sides? We're going to experiment with that and see if we can make some that will actually show the flowers from the outside of the candle. Okay, so this is my tobacco basket that's for the front porch, or for the back porch. I don't know which porch it is. That porch way out yonder. But I love a tobacco basket. I think they're just pretty, and I'm going to, do something decorative with this one. And I told Hugh and Chelsea, I said, it'd be pretty to make some miniature tobacco baskets and put them on the diagonal. That's the way I want to display this one. Let me see if I can get it to stand up here on the diagonal. All right. Like that. And then put, the decorations, whatever I'm going to use, down in the corner, and kind of swagging up the side and down to that bottom, just like one side and up. I just think they're just so beautiful. And, tobacco's a thing of the past, but it's part of Hugh's heritage, part of what he grew up doing. So I want to just have that element, a little keepsake of it. But I decided I was going to cut some ribbon, or cut some of this basket weaving stuff. I've got to cut a bunch more, and just wetting it. You have to wet it to get it so that it won't crack when you're actually working with it. And then I cut for myself a little 7-inch, about 7.5-inch piece of wood, and took the corners off, and I wove my little tobacco basket. Is that not cute? I'm so excited about it. But I'm going to go downstairs and make some more of these little wooden inserts so that I make some more little tobacco baskets and let them dry overnight. And then tomorrow it will mostly retain its shape. I can pull it out and hot glue all these little pieces in place. And then you can see on a regular tobacco basket, it has has a couple of layers of the wood stripping around the outside edge. So that's what I will do with this. I'll put a couple layers. I'll put a layer along the inside and glue it in place. And then I probably will go ahead and put another layer on the outside, since I'm going to use staples to hold things in place. Because I'm just a little concerned about just using the hot glue. I don't want them to pop loose. But I'll probably put a layer on the outside and a layer on the inside just to hide the staples. But I don't know, y'all. I am just very excited about that little thing. Super easy to make. Just a fun little piece. And for people, that grew up in farming communities that grew tobacco, I think it'd just be, a fun little piece of history for them, without having, a great big 4-foot tobacco basket to hang on your porch. But all right, well, I'm going to go in the living room. Chelsea's went home a little while ago to be with her critters, and she's still working there. I'm working here. I'd say we're both going to be working for a while, at least until Friday, when we will be finished, and we'll see what Kringle Market does. Hopefully it will be a wonderful selling event for us. And then I think Chelsea has said something about also setting up a store through our Facebook page or through Etsy or whatever. I don't ask those questions because that's kind of her thing, and I don't like doing things like that. So we'll see what she comes up with. But if she does, I'll be selling these little tobacco baskets because they're so much fun to make. All right, y'all. I know. I'm just a little sad. But think of it. When this is off of this piece of wood, and you have all the little pieces with the light shining through, and you turn it over backward like this one is, and you do the same thing. You put your little spray of flowers down in this corner and going up the edge. Will that not be sweet? I just think it will be so very sweet. I got to keep it turned over because I keep popping it out of its little mold. All right, Patty, stop playing with it. All right, Noble's back here with me, and we have been, I think, fighting fleas for a long time. We've done Seresto collars. We've done the stuff that goes on the nape of the neck. We've done the pills. And I don't know if they've just set up some kind of a condition on their skin that's just itchy now at this point. But I'm going to give them all a bath and just some oatmeal soap to see if I can alleviate whatever's itching them to death, and hopefully the fleas are gone. I've looked them over. I can't find any on them. I think that it's just a residual thing. I'm hoping that we don't have fleas left. But if y'all are experiencing this with your pets, and the people that I have talked to, and Chelsea and Aaron both say that they've heard it's just a tremendously difficult flea year. Bless his heart, I'm not going to film him being miserable. So, I don't know. We got to figure this out because my critters got to have some relief. If anybody knows anything, I don't like using the chemicals on them. We have, because they just reached the point where they had to have some relief. If you know something wonderful that's not as damaging, please let me know. Okay, y'all. I'm going to leave this mess in here, and I'm going to take this to the living room and spend the evening cutting those. See, I have to cut them in half. I cut the length, and this is too wide for what I'm doing, so I have to cut them in half to get this size. Anyway, so it takes a minute. They take a minute to make, but that's okay. All right, you can tell I'm tired because I get goofy and I get chatty and yeah. But I love y'all, and I will talk to you later on in the week. And I will show you the final product of everything. I don't know what the dogs are barking about, but I'll show you everything that's finished. And I'll try to remember to take video when we set up at the Kringle Market, walk through and just take a video of what's going on there. Any of y'all that are going to be close enough, it's in Canton at Searles Park. I'd love to see you there. And it's Friday from, I think this time, from 3 to 7 instead of 4 to 7. Okay. Love you much. Bye-bye.